Hi, thanks for stopping by to have a look at Webmanager. My name is Richard Wallace, MD of TI Thermal Imaging Limited, and I'll take you through a summary, high-level overview of what Webmanager can do for you. As you may know, thermal imaging is a predictive maintenance discipline which helps identify equipment malfunctions before they turn into big problems such as unplanned downtime, costing you time, money, resource allocation problems, etc. etc. TI helps to significantly reduce these problems. In today's unregulated thermal imaging market, any enthusiastic part professional can offer a consultant thermographic service with the ability to capture thermal images and use a standalone software package to produce a single report. Now the problem is, for the multi-site organisation, you'll have multiple reports. How do you consolidate all this data into one view of your organisation, allowing you to effectively manage the remediation process and the required resources? And this problem only gets worse if you're using multiple contractors. This is the problem Webmanager from TI solves, be that for one site or multiple sites. Webmanager is an online data management system which provides a single view of your thermographic inspections from TI. It's a multi-user system with various levels of access for management and specific site personnel. It allows you to see all of your thermal and digital images, the associated interpretations, what the images are telling you, the anomalies, the root causes, and most importantly, the recommendations for problem resolution. So let's take a summary look at Webmanager. As you can see, this is Webmanager's homepage. It has a simple tabbed layout where you can see an overview of your entire organisation, specific inspections, your inventory, the problems, a cost-benefit analysis, and baseline trending, which, by the way, is something only TI Thermal Imaging can provide via Webmanager. We'll take a quick look at each of these tabs in a moment. Within each tab you have the ability to sort the data. So, for example, within the Overview tab you can sort the data by site, or select how many records per page you would like to see, that sort of thing. So here I can see all my sites and a problem summary list by site showing me the number of critical, serious, important and minor problems, along with how many are open and how many have been closed. Now, if I click on the Inspection tab or the specific site, this gives me details of the inspections, past, present and future, and their status. If I click on the More button, I can view my reports for this site, which are in PDF format. And as you can see, the very top report is your finalised version, and it's a consolidation of all the reports listed in this area. Now all these reports that follow are single page PDF reports for either baselines or documented problems, inventories, that sort of thing. And Webmanager uses each of these PDF reports to show specific items individually. Now this is also where you can perform different searches depending on what you are looking for. You can sort by site, by date range, period, scheduled or inspected sites. Now the Inventory tab shows us a complete equipment list and its test status. Again, this can be sorted by site, or you can perform a keyword search for a specific piece of equipment, basically with a view to seeing its test status and when it was last inspected. Now, if we go over to the Problems tab, this view shows you all the open and closed problems for all sites, or on a per site basis, and it includes severity, problem status, work order numbers, repair status, and the date the problem was discovered. By clicking on the Problem button, you'd be able to see the individual report page in PDF format for that particular problem. Again, this area here is where you can perform different searches depending on what you're looking for. Now I'm just going to run back to that individual documentation page and just make this a little bit bigger. What we have here is your digital image with an area on it which shows where the problem is. Here is the thermal image with some temperature data on it, and we have an area box as well which highlights the problem. This area here is your component identification, for example, where it is, what area it's in, its location, might have an equipment ID, its description. This would be your severity of the problem found. In this case it's a minor problem. This would be the anomaly, why the thermographer would flag up this particular problem. The root cause for this particular problem, we suspect it's got an internal problem, and a recommendation for remedial action. This area here is more component related, so for example we'd say what the component was, the manufacturer, the model number, its rated amps, the voltage, and here if we can get it and if the permit to work allows it, we'll get a load reading. At this point I'm just going to mention this graph here. When we get a load reading, it populates this graph. So what it's telling us is what the temperature would be if this component was at 50% load, and it would estimate what the component would be at 100% load. This area here tells us a little bit of temperature data, and then again down here we have a cubicle ambient, what the component ambient temperature is operating in. So that's just a quick overview of what a standard or typical documentation page would look like. So now let's get back to Webmanager. Now we come to the cost benefit tab. As a general rule of thumb, when it comes to predictive maintenance, if you spend £1, you'll save £4. Now cost benefit is designed to give an estimation of costs saved by fixing anomalies before they have a chance to manifest into failures, which is when it gets really expensive. This tab can provide an overall cost view of all sites or individually from a summary or detail perspective. The summary view shows us the before failure costs and the after failure costs. If we want to see the detail, we can now look at individual components and the associated cost of that problem before and after failure. Now let's get to the baseline trending tab. This is my favourite tab. It really differentiates us and shows the level of service that we provide. By clicking the baseline trending tab, you'll see baseline data on individual PDF report pages. This gives us three things: historical thermographic and visual data, trending between inspections, and a visual confirmation that the job has been done. Ideal for ensuring insurance company requirements have been met. So, by clicking on the baseline button for an individual piece of equipment, this is what you'll see: an individual baseline page in PDF format. This shows the latest thermal image, a digital image of the piece of equipment, and also the trending. You'll see this is not populated at this point in time because this is a baseline inspection and we only have one thermal image. So, for all our inspections, we are capturing the data needed for you to begin to establish the historical data needed for baseline trending. Hopefully this overview of Webmanager has provided you a glimpse of its power. There's not a comparable tool on the market today, and it's just one of the advantages of working with TI thermal imaging. If you'd like to learn more about how Webmanager can help you save money, time and resources through better use and analysis of your thermographic data, then we can be reached on these details here. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time today, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.